Hello and welcome to WaltInPA. My name is Walt and we are riding through, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure where we're riding through. I'm always on the border of Berks and Montgomery County, so I'm not sure which one I'm in at any given time. I think this is Montgomery, but I'm not sure. There's a very good chance it could be Berks County. So today is November, I don't even know what today's date is. It's the day after Election Day. And for a change, the weather is beautiful. It feels like forever since I've been on the bike, which is hard to believe. You know, we're not terribly far into fall, and it's just been wet and windy and nasty. Just not very pleasant at all. In fact, last week we had nothing but heavy rain. And then finally, when the rain stopped, we had a day kind of like this. It was nice and clear, not a rain cloud in the sky, except for we had 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and it was just not the type of weather that I would want to be out riding in. So there was another day lost. But today it's beautiful out. It's in the mid-60s. It's the first time I've been out in the middle of the week during the afternoon riding on my lunch break in probably, I want to say 2 months, at least 2 months. And now that we've got the time change going on, it's getting dark early, and riding during the week has been it has just been impossible. By the time my wife gets home from work, it's getting dark and it's cold, and I don't really want to ride in the dark. It's not very fun. So that means that all of the riding I've been doing has been on the weekends. Well, the problem with that is my wife, she hurt her leg a few weeks back, and she wound up having to miss a couple of days from work. She's a nurse. She works weekends, or she works alternating weekends. And where she works, they have a policy where if you call out on a weekend, regardless of whether it's a legitimate excuse or not, regardless of whether you have a doctor's permission to miss work, which was the case with my wife, you have to make it up the following weekend. Well, the following weekend was her work weekend, so she had to make it up the weekend after that, and then she worked the weekend after that. So it's been like 3 weeks of really difficult timing. I mean, I've been on the bike during very short periods of time in between that 3 weeks, but nothing substantial since I went for that ride out to Kutztown to visit that covered bridge, which was amazing, by the way. I don't know whether you've seen the video I've put together or not, but the ride out to Kutztown was probably one of the most enjoyable rides I've had so far. Just the back roads, the scenery, it was just beautiful. It was cold, but it was beautiful. And that's a ride I'm going to be making more of in the future. I really enjoyed that. So that's pretty much been my adventure these last couple of weeks. Actually, you may have noticed we got a new jacket on. That ride out to Kutztown was cold, and I knew immediately when I got on the bike that I would not be able to ride with that jacket into the winter. It's kind of like a hybrid jacket. It's perforated. It's a combination of leather and textile. So the leather is in the high impact zones. There's like leather in the chest, leather in the shoulders, in the elbows, and then the rest of the jacket is, it's not mesh, but it's like a perforated textile material. It covers the back, a couple of spots on the arms, but everything is perforated for maximum airflow. And the jacket is great in the summertime, but man, it is cold in the winter. So much air gets through there that it was almost impossible to ride in. So I was poking around on Revzilla looking for a winter jacket that wouldn't break the bank, because I didn't want to spend another $300 some on a riding jacket. And I came across this. It's an Icon MH1000, I believe. And I put it in my shopping cart, and I was all ready to order it. And I thought, you know what, before I place the order, let me do a quick review, or let me do a quick search for reviews to make sure that the jacket's not a complete bust before I go buy it, because it is on Closeout, and I don't want to have to deal with returning it, because you have to pay shipping back. It's just kind of a mess. It's just kind of a hassle. So anyway, I copy and paste the make and model of the jacket into Google, and the #1 search result is a deal from Motorcycle Gear. So Revzilla wanted $250 for this jacket on Closeout. Motorcycle Gear wanted $159 for the jacket. So I'm really glad that I took a minute to do a search for a review and came across a significantly lower price from Motorcycle Gear. Now, a lot of times I don't do much price comparison for stuff at Revzilla, because 9 times out of 10 I find that they have the best price. So it's not really worth hunting all around trying to save a couple of bucks. But in this case, it was a lot more than a couple bucks. So I've got my semi-winter jacket. Oddly enough, this jacket isn't nearly as heavy as my other jacket, and I think it's because the leather on the other jacket kind of gives it heft. So this jacket is significantly lighter than the other one. It's a bit stiffer, it's a little more snug. It's what Icon calls a sport fit. I am not sporty by any stretch of the imagination. So it's a little snug just in the middle, but I can take care of that. I'm working on that. So, you know, like, it fits nice. I'm not cold right now. I'm wearing a t-shirt under it. I'm not feeling any of the sort of airflow that I would get out of my other jacket. So I don't know what kind of temperatures I'll be able to ride in with this jacket, but it'll definitely be more comfortable than my other in moderate temperatures. So right now, as I said, I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's in the low 60s, mid 60s. I think it was like 63 or 64 degrees when I left the house. So, and again, I'm wearing a t-shirt under it. So I think I could get away with easily low to mid 50s in a t-shirt. If I were to put a sweatshirt or a flannel on underneath this, I could probably ride in the 30s without much issue. But time will tell. So the only thing that leaves me at this point, well, it leaves me with a lot of things, but I still need to get a pair of gloves that are going to be warmer. These are more of a sport style glove. They've got perforations in the fingers, which you wouldn't think would do much, because they're kind of small and there's only a couple of spots where they're perforated. But I tell you what, you really notice those perforations in the cold. So I'm going to need a warmer pair of gloves. If anyone has any recommendations, I'd love to hear it. The only stipulation that I have, or one feature that I really don't want to, one feature that I don't want to give up is the palm slider. So if you look at these, they have like a hard shell palm, and the idea is that if you hit the ground, they'll help you slide instead of the glove biting in and torquing. So again, if you've got any glove recommendations, warmer glove recommendations, I'd love to hear them, because I do plan on riding as far into the season as I can. I don't want to put the bike away yet. I just got it in January, or not January, June. So it's been 6 months. I'm not ready to put it away. With any luck, I'm hoping for no snow until after Christmas, which would give me another, month and a half, 2 months of riding. The one goal I have this season, which I set for myself kind of late, was I want to hit 6,400 miles on this bike, I think. Yeah, so when I bought it, there were 3,200 miles on the odometer, and I would really like to double that in my first season. So I've got, I don't know, that 400 and then about 800 miles to hit that goal. So I'm gonna need the weather to cooperate if I'm gonna do that. it's, you know, it's kind of an arbitrary thing that I want to double the mileage, but it's just something that I want to work towards. And I know some people look at that and say, oh, 3,200 miles, like I can do that in a good weekend, or you know, that's one road trip. But for me, with 3 kids, working as much as I do, with as little time, with as little free time as I have, I think I get out to ride, well, quite a bit. You know, I've got no complaints with the amount of times I get out to ride. So anyway, I think I've rambled on enough for one video. Again, if you've got any recommendations on warmer gloves, I'd love to hear it. Actually, if you've got any recommendations on any winter gear at all, regardless of what it is, especially if you ride like sport bike, I'd love to hear what you ride or what you wear in the winter, because it's not, I just can't see a lot of people hooking up heated gear to their sport bike or their naked bike. So again, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.